Hello everybody, John back here again with another video, and today I bring you another episode of my Who Would Win Battles series. Yes, I did state in my previous one that I wasn't going to do another one until January, but seeing as how I got a good couple of recommendations, and there really hasn't been any real big video topics that I could really talk about, pretty much, I decided, just do one more for the road and then do the rest in January. So that's what I'm pretty much doing. So today, as hinted in my previous one, today's battle will be against Ichigo Kurosaki of the Bleach series versus Yusuke Urameshi of the Yu Yu Hakusho series. Now let's get started. First off, as always with my segment, I will start off giving you a brief synopsis of all the character mentioned powers and abilities, then give you a brief rundown of how I think it would go down if they went toe-to-toe together, and then give you an overall winner, and then ask the obvious question, who do you think would win in a battle between the two characters? But anyways, and as always, I try to stay in between the middle of everything. I don't want to be too biased or whatnot, because, you know, there's tons of people who are going to be like, oh no, this character's better, and this other character, he's stronger, and he's more popular. It's like, people, take it easy. It's just asking the question. I'm giving you my opinion, then give me yours. You don't have to, like, come at me with 100 different billion reasons as to why you think the character you like is superior to the other character that wins, you know, so, I don't know. Just keep that in mind. So, let's get started. First off, let's start off with Yusuke Urameshi's powers and abilities. First off, Yusuke is obviously a superhuman. He's, well, not technically a superhuman, but he has superhuman abilities. He has superhuman strength, super speed. He's super agile. He's also a great fighter. He's an expert at hand-to-hand combat. He's a brawler. He's a great martial artist. And he has a collage of just amazing overall weaponry. I mean, you guys already know, I'm a big Yu Yu Hakusho fan, and I love his main weapon, which is, of course, the Spirit Gun. As characters like Yusuke in the Yu Yu Hakusho series and in the Bleach series, they both deal with the supernatural, and they both have very extreme, awesome spiritual abilities. Yusuke's main weapon is, of course, the Spirit Gun, which he uses most often. It's his most used weapon, and he has variations of the same exact weapon, which, for those of you who don't know, is essentially the Spirit Gun Mega, the Demon Gun Mega, the Spirit Shotgun, and, of course, he has variations of, like, Spirit Punch and Kick, where he essentially uses and transports most of his spirit energy to his fists and kicks. So essentially, that's pretty much it. He also has a majority of other kind of really cool weaponry, like the gun barrage, spirit wave, his transformation sequence, which I'll get to in a second. But mostly, his main use is, of course, the Spirit Gun. Now, first off, the Spirit Gun is his most used weapon, but he can only use it in a very limited time period. Like, he can't use it numerous times in a battle, but that kind of comes off here and there, where he's able to use it multiple times, and it's just a real badass weapon. Everyone knows the Spirit Gun, and it's his main use. But then again, we go into variations to it, like the Spirit Gun Mega and the Demon Gun Mega, which are essentially, once he transforms, he uses the same projectile weapon, which is his finger, and just has an extreme blast of his demon energy inflicted to his enemies, which is 10 times greater than his normal Spirit Gun. So essentially, once he's in his demon state, once he uses the Demon Gun, you're pretty much done, pretty much. But then we get to his demon transformation. Yusuke is not really known for using this that much, but he is pretty powerful once he gets into the transformation. His strength increases, and the full length of his power in this state, or this transformation, isn't really known. Like, it's pretty unknown as to his limitations in the transformed state, but we can pretty much guess that throughout the times that we've seen him in his transformation state, that he's pretty powerful, and hands down, possibly the strongest character in his series. But anyways, let's move off of that and get into Ichigo's powers and abilities. Ichigo, like Yusuke, is an expert in hand-to-hand combat. He has enhanced strength, speed, reflexes, durability. He also has a keen intellect and an advanced growth rate. So essentially, during a battle, he can pretty much understand how you fight, learn how you fight, and probably use it against you. So anyways, and he has a collage of weaponry that he uses, mostly his katana sword, which goes by another name, but it's his main use of weapon. And as great as a fighter that Ichigo really is, he does use the sword too much. Like, I think that's the only one downfall, is that he uses, in a hand-to-hand fight, the sword. So, whenever it's down to a villain or any type of foe that comes his way, he pretty much uses the sword. But essentially, he has tons of other great powers like that. And also, he has one of the main ones that tons of people already know, which is the hollow fixation, where he puts on the mask of a hollow and uses the powers of the hollows, which enhances his strength, enhances his weaponry and power, and spiritual powers. So, pretty much, Ichigo kind of has the same basic abilities as Yusuke, except in a different kind of format. That's essentially the difference. But they're pretty much very similar. They both are very great warriors. They're great martial artists. They're great fighters. They have tons of great spiritual energy. And the only difference is that one uses sword and the other is a brawler. So, anyways, let's get right down to the rundown. If these two characters were to come together and fight toe-to-toe, which is something I would love to see, I wish someone would do like an animation of that. It would be pretty badass. Because whenever I was really big into Bleach, I always thought, like, I wonder what Ichigo would do if he went against Yusuke. Because I always felt that those two characters were very similar. And they really are. Realistically, if you look at both series, they're very similar. And the characters themselves are very similar. And personally, if they went toe-to-toe, I would find it difficult that Yusuke would be able to come close to Ichigo through his hollow power and all the projectile energy blast that Ichigo throws his way through his katana. But I would feel that in a hand-to-hand fight, Yusuke would be superior. Yusuke is one of those type of martial artists / fighters that he needs to be up close and personal with you. He's a brawler. He needs to be right there in the grind, and he needs to like have knuckle-to-knuckle fights. That's the type of guy that Yusuke is, and he prefers to fight that way. Ichigo is quite different. He likes to fight with his sword, and he's not really known for fighting villains or characters in his universe without the sword, unless he's, tormented by the hollow fixation, or if he's just fighting like random ghosts or teenagers or hooligan gang members or whatever in the reality of the Japanese high school era, whatever. But essentially, if it was to go down in a hand-to-hand fight, I would believe that Yusuke would be superior against Ichigo because he's just a greater fighter. And even though Ichigo is a good fighter, he's also very well known in the martial arts circuit in Japan. But Yusuke is a more universal character where he's much more known throughout the universe. Well, I don't know if I would say universe, but the spiritual world as a great fighter. Like, all the tournaments that he's been in, all the fights, all the great, villains he's taken on. He has fought all through them and has come out on top. And it's because of his great fighting skills. Ichigo doesn't really have that. Ichigo is a good fighter, but I think in a fist-to-fist fight, Yusuke would come out top. But essentially, Yusuke would have a freaking hard time essentially trying to get really up and close and personal. So I guess that Yusuke would definitely dodge every bullet that Ichigo would throw at him, essentially using his spirit gun. I'm pretty sure Ichigo would be able to block his attacks as well. I think the spirit gun has enough power to penetrate Ichigo's body, but I don't know if it would be that easy for Yusuke just to win. So I think if they were just going to go toe-to-toe with their powers, Yusuke would possibly have to transform into his demon state to take on Ichigo. And Ichigo, even in his hollow form, I think would still lose in a hand-to-hand fight. It's just that simple. And plus, Yusuke's spiritual power is just superior. He's just a superior fighter, and he has superior power in towards Ichigo. But if you were going to go down with weapons, I don't know. It's really hard. It would just be very difficult for Yusuke to throw any punches or throw any great attacks towards Ichigo's way if he had full state of his hollow form and was continuing to use his multiple swords, which he is tend to use throughout the anime series, the Bleach anime series. So overall, I think it would definitely be a great battle. Ichigo would definitely pull out the stops to take down Yusuke, but overall, I think Yusuke is just a superior fighter, and he's just all around better with his spiritual power in comparison to Ichigo. But overall, that's pretty much what I personally think. In the overall end, I think Yusuke would win. Yusuke is just a greater fighter. He's a brawler. He needs to be up close and personal. Of course, Ichigo would throw out the stops and try to take him down. But overall, Yusuke would just block all the attacks and just disarm him and just fight him to the death and beat him to death. That's pretty much how I think Yusuke would go down with the fight. But overall, that's what I personally think. Ichigo is a great fighter. He has amazing power and abilities, and I've seen plenty of awesome Bleach fights, but overall, Yusuke is just superior. So, overall, when it comes to this who would win battle, I say Yusuke Urameshi of the Yu Yu Hakusho series would beat Ichigo in the Bleach series. But that's just my personal opinion. In the comment section below, let me know what you personally think. Who would win in a battle between Ichigo and Yusuke? And let me know in the comment section below. Once again, not trying to be biased, even though I have stated in past anime videos that Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, next to DBZ and stuff like that. I think Ichigo would be a great threat to Yusuke, but overall, it just would be a win-win for Yusuke. But in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think. Of course, everybody's personal opinion is valid, so let me know what you think. Once again, try not to bash anybody. Once again, don't try to bash me. I'm trying not to be biased here, folks. But anyways, that's going to be it. I'll be returning in January to give you some more Who Would Win battles, and as a quick tease as to what you can expect for future Who Would Win battles, my next one will be a fight to the death between the Incredible Hulk versus the legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Yes, strangely enough, I was requested to make this specific battle from Paul Costa, of all people, the person who had zero interest in anything I do, specifically this one series, which is hysterical. He requested that I would do this battle. So, you know what? Next time on this great segment that I hope everyone has enjoyed, I'll be giving you the great and epic battle between Marvel's strongest just monster versus DBZ's strongest and biggest monster, just going at it to the death. So, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out those videos. Check out last week's video of the Great 8 versus the Titans. And that's going to be it. This has been my battle of Yusuke versus Ichigo. Yusuke for the win. Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. And next time in January, I'll be giving you the Hulk versus Broly. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. At the end of this video, check out last week's video. And that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.